So the tattoo has gone global. But to say it represents modern multi-ethnic Scotland would be a stretch. Its core appeal is still the massed pipes and drums of the Highland regiments. This image of Scotland as a land of kilted warriors is something that global storytellers and audiences can't seem to resist. The archetype, from Braveheart to Pixar's heroine in Brave, just won't go away. Probably because it's worth big bucks. Today, a new screen version of Scotland's romantic Jacobite era is being produced for the world market.
Okay, nice and quiet on the floor, guys. Still everywhere.
This multi-million-dollar Hollywood production is based in a brand new film studio in a disused electronics factory in Cumbernauld.
So this is our prop department, and this is equally the size of any studio prop house I was in the United States. This is A stage. This is our largest sound stage, has the highest ceiling. We've brought in soundproofing for the entire thing. We've added the entire grid system and put in electrical, soundproof walls, did these big airlock double doors.
Ronald D. Moore is one of America's most successful television producers. He is the man behind the acclaimed reboot of the sci-fi show Battlestar Galactica. Looking for his next hit, he has turned to a Scottish historical drama about a time-travelling nurse who finds herself in the 18th century Highlands. He's confident that this image of Scotland still sells. With a budget of £50 million, Outlander is the most expensive production ever filmed here.
Here we go. Still.
It's expected to be seen by a huge worldwide audience. Shooting in Scotland itself was a key part of the process.
We never seriously scouted any other country other than Scotland. So right from the beginning, we said, it's about this place, we should try to take advantage of it. And we knew that a lot of Scotland had not been shot, if ever, or at least in many years. So we'd have a lot of interesting backgrounds and landscapes that the audience wasn't used to seeing. And I like the weather, personally. I live in Los Angeles, and LA is a desert, and you're not supposed to live there, in my opinion, and it's too hot. And you come here, and it's actually kind of pleasant, and it rains, and it's moist, and it's not dry heat, so I enjoy the people and the weather the most.
In pursuit of authenticity, Outlander's largely Scottish crew were challenged to shoot in some extreme conditions.
One of our directors, who is from Hollywood, has commented that some of the locations and some of the scenes that we've shot, that Hollywood crews wouldn't have managed it, and she was, astounded that we've made it through some of the rain and the mud and the bad weather and the tough conditions. So, apart from toughness aside, Scotland does have a lot of talent here, and this show definitely goes to prove that Scotland can work at its highest levels within the film and television business.
We were aware of all the sort of Scottish pieces from Brigadoon to Braveheart and Rob Roy, and there's a great romance and almost mysticism to Scotland in the popular imagination, at least in the States. And we wanted to sort of cut against that. We wanted to make this piece more real, give it a sense of authenticity, so that the audience believed that they were really on this journey with Claire, that when she traveled back in time, that they were going to a real place. So we kind of deliberately set out to sort of not do a lot of things that other productions had done when they tried to portray Scotland.
I believe that you have secrets, Claire. Since it started airing in the States, this series has been inspiring viewers to write in with inquiries about Scotland. Visit Scotland has started organising tours of the locations. One aspect, above all, seems to have sparked the audience's imagination. Some of the dialogue is in Gaelic, without subtitles. Gaelic consultant Agev O'Brien has been teaching the cast how to speak an historically accurate version of the language.
Good, you've got that dead vowel again, Folum.
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 There's a sort of huge burst of worldwide interest in the language and culture, extending past the whiskey and the bagpipes and extending, much closer to the heart of where this culture comes from. Even though it is a work of fiction for the screen. The producers take the idea of authenticity with the Scottish culture extremely seriously, and that when people get interested in it, they should get interested in something that they can visit Scotland and then touch that living vein, you know, with the sort of soul of Scotland running through it, rather than just you know, buying a bunch of stuff, you know, sticking it in a bag and jumping on the plane home. You know, they can take a real piece of Scotland home in their hearts now, because they've known what to look for when they came here.
Giving visitors a sense of the reality behind Scotland's romantic image is something that tour guide Mike also feels passionate about. His tour has arrived at Ellandonan Castle on Loch Alsh. Of all Scotland's thousands of castles, this is perhaps the most iconic and most photographed.
It is quite important on our tours because it is such an iconic castle. People have seen it, travelled throughout the world, seen it on postcards and things. They may not know it's called Ellandonan, but a lot of people, when they see this for the first time, go, "Oh, I've seen that on postcards in Edinburgh or wherever they are."
Ellandonan has become the definitive Highland stronghold. But this castle isn't all it seems. The original medieval fortress on the site was almost completely destroyed in 1719 and was later rebuilt in the 20th century.
A lot of people argue that it's quite fake, but I would just argue it's a restored castle rather than a fake castle.
Mike tries to explain to all his passengers that the true story of Scotland is more complex than the legend and more interesting.
I suppose it is important that that the real history of places is conveyed to people as well, and that this is a place that things happen. And I think they get a lot more out of that. It's the stories that we tell and the adding something more mystical into the landscape, of making it matter more. I think that can make someone like Scotland a lot or love it. It can make that difference.
Scotland's landscape can sometimes seem like a theme park, but understanding that real people live and work here gives these visitors a richer sense of the country. As they finally approach the Isle of Skye, Mike takes time to relate a local tale of a battle for freedom from the more recent past.
It's been a few years that tolls have been taken off, but it was about £25 one way. It was just so expensive, the bridge, that people would pay in 1 pence pieces, and people have criminal records for refusing to pay the tolls and things. And it was the Scottish government that ended up buying the bridge and freeing it of tolls, so it's just like all other roads and bridges in Scotland. The Skye Bridge is now free, which still pleases me to this very day. And now the exciting bits. Are you ready? Here we go, we're going to land on the Isle of Skye now. So guys, welcome to the Isle of Skye! Woo-hoo! That wasn't too enthusiastic. Let's do a really enthusiastic one. Welcome to the Isle of Skye!
The village of Kyleakin will be their resting place for the night. They've driven 270 miles today and taken in the Forth Bridge, Loch Ness, and Scotland's most famous castle.
I'll see you in the pub, if not 9 o'clock here. Yeah, fantastic, good stuff.
There's time for one more hit of Scotland before bed, the local pub, and an encounter with the national dish.
How was the haggis?
Yes, I like it.
Traditional Chinese food in Beijing. He think it's better than that food.
Do you know what's in it?
No. What's it?
Good question.
Yeah. What's in it? Tell us.
The intestines of a sheep.
Oh, gross. Okay.
The pub's owner, Willie Park, and many local people here rely on these visitors for their livelihood.
Tourism is hugely important. Lots of businesses would not be here if it wasn't for tourism.
But this meeting of people from all over the world, here in a small corner of the Highlands, is about more than just money.
They enhance the experience for the staff and the local people. It's part of the social fabric of this village, actually.
People all around the world would almost give their hind teeth to have a culture or a national dress like Scotland has. It's recognised throughout the world, and I think we should embrace that. I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I do understand the shortbread tin sort of image of Scotland is something that's maybe not something we should be pushing all the way, but it's certainly part of us, and we shouldn't shy away from it, I don't think.
For Mike's tourists too, immersing themselves in Scotland even for one day has given the romantic image of the country depth.
But you think of the kilts and the bagpipes, the stereotypical and the brave heart, but I didn't know anything about true Scotland.
When I got here, just instantly fell in love with the country because the people are just so nice. They're very proud, and they should be very proud of everything here.
I think it's vitally important that when they arrive here, we don't just give them the Disney World image of Scotland. We give them a bit more, and we realise this is a working, living place that means so much to the people who are here in the modern day, not just from whatever's happened in the past.
So Scotland still has one of the most seductive brands of any country in the world. It's founded on the romance of the Scottish landscape and history. But it also plays a key role in the modern 21st century nation. Because Brand Scotland is the foundation of high-tech industries and hundreds of thousands of jobs. And tonight, in Edinburgh, the brand is about to get another massive global boost. Up at the Castle Esplanade, the tattoo is swinging into action for another evening. But tonight's performance is no ordinary event. It is being filmed for a huge worldwide TV audience. Producer Brigadier David Alfrey rallies the troops for what promises to be a blustery show.
We need to hang on to our bits tonight. I think it's going to be a bit drafty.
Who's here from Australia tonight? Oh, good on you. Welcome to you.
The audience seems undaunted by the weather. It's a sellout crowd. The performers have been braving wind and rain all week, but the show must go on.
Are you all dried out after yesterday? That was damn wet, wasn't it? Well done, everybody.
The Brigadier has never allowed bad weather to cancel a performance. He's not about to start tonight.
So, ready for a bit of a blowy night? Yeah, it is going to be. So we want to be hanging on to kilts and plaids and everything else. Otherwise the audience will get a little more than they bargained for us. Well done everybody.
Each show has a live audience of almost 9,000 people. Many will have travelled thousands of miles to be here. The dancers, drummers and pipers are ready to give them a Scottish spectacle they'll never forget.
You presumably are all going to be wonderful again. Are you going to be all right in wind in this? It is. Please take care, particularly between shows. Are you all right with the appoint at the beginning? Yeah, we're good. Brilliant, really. How are you? Always late.
Up in the control room, Brigadier Alfrey monitors the images that are being filmed and beamed across the world.
We're at the moment talking to Doorshan, the Indian state broadcaster, who has an audience of 500 million. So if those combined with the channels that are in China, we are chasing, and I hope this doesn't feel or sound arrogant, but we are chasing a 1 billion television audience, which is very important to us. And this is all part of that story.
With a potential TV audience of 1 billion people, the show needs to defy the elements and go off with a bang. Once the massed pipes and drums swing into action, the Scottish weather doesn't stand a chance. This is Scotland being projected onto a massive global stage.
And the audience during this will spontaneously clap, not just at the end. They're clapping now because this is so good. Look at that, almost on cue.
This will be the last tattoo, will it?
This one, absolutely not. 65 years, ready for another 65. And when you see stuff like this is just phenomenal. And then into a thistle to end. You know, iconically Scottish. And ends on the beat. Lovely. Just very, very good.
With its modern mix of nationalities, the tattoo reflects the impact Scotland has made on the world and the world's influence on Scotland. But at heart, it remains a classic Scottish spectacle. Its worldwide TV appeal proves that Scotland's romantic global image, brand Scotland, is as strong as ever. Maybe some of those far-flung television viewers will decide to visit for themselves. Next time, how is the face of Scotland changing?
We do see ourselves as Asian Scots, and I think that the lines between cultures become a little bit less distinguished, which is really nice.
How do we live in the 21st century?
I'm just thrilled that I've got the health to be able to do this.
And who are the people that call themselves Scots?
Welcome to Scotland.
Welcome to the world.
Welcome to the world.